Hey, what's up, y'all? Yes, I am back, and if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Prissy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, everybody has had a great weekend so far. Yes, I'm getting the hang on being back at work because I took a whole week off and stuff, so it was a little hectic for me, but I got my life with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie. Who did I miss this week? I miss Auntie Nene and Auntie Marlo. Okay, but the show was still good. I wanted a little more, but I felt like last week was, everything. So I guess they had to cool it down and give us, something that was kind of interesting. But it was good. Okay. Now I know I'm rambling on, but let me just get into it. First thing that I want to say, I want to give who the kudos? Sheree. Oh my God. Sheree, Sheree, Sheree. That's what I've been talking about. When I say I have not been feeling how she be looking at confessionals, but I love how she looked with the ladies. But this week, she stepped it up even more. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the Sheree I know. Come on, somebody. Hello, somebody. That hair was serving me everything. I don't know. Did she go to somebody who used to do Portia hair or whatever? Because we all know Portia hair always slay. Okay? But Sheree hair was just serving, serving, serving. So I say I have to give kudos to her this week on that. Um, Also, it's so many things I can give her kudos on this taping. But before I go there, I'm just gonna dive into what I could remember the highlights for me. What was interesting was Cynthia and the guy that she's dating. Now that was pretty interesting, of them going on this boat thing. Like, the thing that I didn't get, okay, let's put a tab in there. Let's go to Candy and her daughter. Okay, Riley is really growing up. Okay, my cousin was like, she 14. I'm like, girl, she can't be 14. Riley had a sweet 16, okay? And she's really growing up. She's taller than her parents, okay? Well, Candy and Todd, her stepdad. But she's a beautiful girl, but it always feel somewhat kind of like forced when they tape together and everything. I don't want to say forced like that, but it's like Riley. I don't want to say she's a spoiled or whatever, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave that alone. But I did like they went to iFly and everything. Yeah, it's like the setting be kind of like in a strange place for me right now with them. And I guess because Candy on the road and all this other stuff, Candy kind of feel like a bad mom. But I tell Candy she's not a bad mom. She is making sacrifices. Thank God she has Todd and her support system that's there for her because she rocks. And I know y'all know Candy is like my number one, besides my aunties, because I know they could be team too much at times. But I mean, Candy is doing a lot of sacrificing and everything else, and it's going to pay off in the end for her children. So, yeah, she's not a 9 to 5 mom. She's a true boss, okay? So, some things are just a little different. But, hey, she's able to give her kids little A's private lessons. How fancy is that for swimming lessons? My uncle had to teach me how to swim, okay? But and I know how to swim, but I'm just saying she's just in a different place than your average. Candy is not like the 95% of the masses, okay? She's a little bit above. She's that 5%, okay? So I get it. And who else? It was interesting. Yeah, the thing with me with what's her name? Miss Kenya Moore. I'm with Cynthia. It bothered Cynthia to a degree because she was letting her know what the meeting was about and everything. And she kind of was a little bothered about not being able to meet the love of the life of Kenya, if Kenya is really her friend, and I just kind of hate that for Cynthia. And it seemed like that really Kenya shut him out of all everybody, including her dad. Her dad knew of him, but it was like what was so odd to me about Kenya and this husband of hers is that nobody knew of him. And even your close friends couldn't even say, yeah, I remember she was like telling me about this guy. She's happy with him or whatever. It's like, how long were they dating that you kept him a secret? Like, you couldn't call your good girlfriend Cynthia and let her know. Did Brandon know? Brandon is always rooting for her and is her good friend, but he wasn't even at the wedding either. So it's her dad wasn't even at the wedding. It's just like, Kenya, did anybody know about this besides Chef Roblé and Mark, your husband? It just feels kind of weird, and you're gonna get this response from people, Kenya, because even your good girlfriends didn't even know about him. And it's just like, who does that? Like, I know when I get somebody, and average people that really get somebody, and that's the love of their life and everything else, and then you're gonna take it to a next level. Of course, if you ratting and raving about somebody and you head over heels, you can't keep that a secret. So it's just really odd. But I'm really surprised that Kenya was agreeing how she did Cynthia and was like, you right, you're going to be able to meet him and this and that. Because if y'all know in the past, Cynthia always feels some type of, not Cynthia, Kenya always feels some type of way when she don't want to hear something and storms off. But she didn't do that, so I give her kudos for that, for being a woman about that. Because it's like, girl, you don't have to bring him around. We don't have to see pictures. It was no pictures in our house of her day. It's just so weird, What else? It don't feel real, okay? A second thing is, if not the third thing, was interesting was the boat. Okay. I did like how Will stepped up to the plate and he sent a driver for Cynthia, and they went to the boat ride. She met him up there or whatever. And of course, like Candy was saying, that Todd had some kind of reserve. He didn't want to really do the double date because of his friend Peter, and I get that. So, because men, they vibe, and us women, because I know if it was Candy probably like, no, I'm not, because y'all saw how she was with Phaedra, Apollo new girlfriend. She was like, that's some messy stuff. I don't want to be a part of that. And I'm the same way. Like, like, I don't know, because that was my girl, and this ain't loyalty. So I say, hey, I give kudos to Todd for being supportive for Candy and going on this date, double dating, to get to know Will and everything else. Now, what was interesting was that Candy, I've never seen Candy in this light of being very detective, interrogating somebody. Who knew that was the gift that she had in her past life, like Cynthia said. And I get it. Cynthia is her girl, that's her friend, and she just trying to make sure. But one thing I can say, Candy had them receipts, because even Cynthia was looking at him like, you going on these dates, these dating shows and everything else. And I guess he's openly dating other people. And, he was just saying, explaining himself and all this good stuff. And Cynthia, one thing Candy didn't know, somebody's hitting it with Cynthia. If it's not Will, you're going to have to test the water. So who you been messing with? Because I can tell. And Cynthia was like, she was messing with somebody in California, but she's not messing with that person anymore. But that was the last time somebody hit it. And I thought her and Peter had something going on, which was kind of interesting to see Uncle being back. And that's funny. But Peter, he's a nice looking older man, but he do give you the old Uncle Ben, look. But they still have business together. They still get along great. And that's a good thing. But, she was open to him, letting him know that she's dating a guy, Will. And I want to say, from Peter to Will, that's a hell of a step. But, Cynthia is not a bad looking woman herself. Okay, she's a 10 plus plus. Okay, she's Cynthia Bailey at the end of the day. Let's not get that twisted. But coming from Peter to Will, yeah, that's a very major step up from that. And he seemed like he's a good guy. I want to see more of her dating. it's like everybody been telling her take her time and everything else. And so, I guess since Candy felt like since the old lady gang, her little circle was, getting at Todd and interrogating him. Oh, that was a little cruel, okay? But I guess, she looking out for a girl. Like I say, that was just pretty interesting from that point. Um, yeah, Portia and that guy, like I was a little taken back from it for the simple fact that, I guess love is love in certain cases. And, she's open up and her palette is very broad when it comes to dating. She doesn't mind dating outside of her race. But I didn't like how the dating company, they sucked, okay? They was horrible. I mean horrible. They was trying to do the millionaire matchmaker Patty Stinger, whatever her name is. I think but her name Patty. That's what I do know. And it was like they was trying to say, well, his winner gonna go down. I mean, you pretty much set up and, oh, what is this from and what is this from? And I'm just like, let it go. She's a single woman. She was planning ahead like she wanted, and just so happened she turned them into her storage glam rooms or whatever. You could tell Portia is very high maintenance and she needs that storage, okay? So, but I just felt like they was like, oh, and is that a playhouse out there? Is that a swing set or something? It's like, okay, we know that it came with the house, just like the paintings, the murals on the walls and everything in the room. She want a girl in the boy. Okay, we get it. So, but it was like, you all wanted to get a little bit more about her house and everything else to get a feel of who she is. And I feel like y'all was being nosy. Y'all did all of this thorough research, supposedly. But in the end, y'all didn't really have a great, a guy. I'm not going to say he's not a great guy, but you could tell that there was no chemistry. Everybody has the eye is in the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But it was like his whole setup wasn't giving me what Portia would have wanted. But I'm glad that at first I was like, Portia, don't be mean. I'm like, is she gonna really walk out? But I guess the producers probably told her to go along with it and play along with it because he was looking a little awkward. But she played along and she was a good sport or whatever. But what killed me about it was that Portia was trying to act like, okay, she lived with her mama and she really did. She really was supposed to only be gone for 30 minutes or something because her mama really didn't know she was gone. It's like, Portia, you're not in high school. Portia, you're not even 21. Stop the games. But overall, I feel like it was cool. But what if y'all didn't pay attention when it started to get towards the end and they had their arm locked together and was walking out? How come Portia kind of let him go when she got to the end of that door and was like acting like she was fixing her skirt? I'm like, really, Portia? Portia didn't want to be seen outside with that dude, only in the restaurant. But can you blame him? He wasn't a bad looking guy. He wasn't a guy for Portia. But that was it so far that I gathered from this week. Like I say, oh, I cannot forget about Sheree. What was chilling for me, like I say, the kudos go definitely to Sheree. Not only for the glam, but what was interesting and how open and, hold on y'all, kind of transparent on how she feel about Tyrone when she's talking to her life coach. Her life coach was sitting there, because when you get that call, she was like, excuse me, she had to take that call. And I get it because, if you ever dealt with somebody that probably was incarcerated before, you're kind of like, it's like a dying situation. Like you have to take it because you never know when they'll have another call again and everything else. So that was interesting how she was sitting on the phone or whatever. And she was, talking to the life coach. Now, what was interesting was that I thought the life coach knew about this love life on Tyrone. But I guess we knew before him from what it looked like. And so what I liked about it was that he wasn't being judgmental. He was supportive of her, because everybody that go to jail isn't really a bad person. Sometimes you make the bad mistake and everything, and you just got caught up in some stuff. But it's one thing if you keep going in and out. That's something else too. But I really don't know anything about Tyrone. But one thing that I do know, and two for sure, he makes Sheree feels like cloud nine, like she's on cloud nine. She's in love. She's so open. She's just like really glowing, talking about him and everything, and she was like, he gets her. And it's nothing like when you have chemistry with somebody, and it's good to see, because I would have never thought that Sheree would have dated somebody, because it sounded like she'd be like, oh no, I'm not dealing with that. But the thing that I can say about Tyrone, I don't know the brother, but it really means something that Sheree is somebody that he really care about, because he didn't want her to be involved in the crap that he had going on. And so later on, he came back for her after he did what he did, because he didn't want the feds to be, trailing her or whatever. But I'm trying to figure out, where did Sheree get this money where she's buying all this other stuff? Because you could tell like her furniture is custom design, and I know they get paid very well, but she just got back. And from the last I knew, Sheree was a Zumba instructor for a minute. But maybe she made some hidden investments or something, won a lottery, something. Or Tyrone gave her some money, something. I don't know, but I'm with Portia. She got some money or whatever, because she trying to buy some kind of fancy doors or whatever whenever they was out there shopping. But am I happy for her? I'm happy for her, because everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves happiness. So that was good on that. And also, what was a chilling moment for me was when she was opening up and telling the children about it. And the baby girl, who I think looks just like her dad, she was like, her dad was trying to explain and all of this other stuff to her, what happened. But she was like, she didn't have time for it. She got out of soccer practice. She wasn't for it. Cairo, you could tell, and her other daughter, the gorgeous older girl that looks like Sheree, they all felt, like it was hidden. And it's like, man, Sheree is a super mom, because it's like, whatever it is, it's like whatever they went through, it wasn't done in front of the kids. And I want to say I applaud that much, because sometimes when kids see parents fighting, it's not a good thing, because kids end up worrying about their parents. So she really shielded her kids from the things that were actually going on with her and Bob. And I was just like, man, she is a super hell of a woman, because it's like, oh my God, because I know people that fight in front of their kids, they don't care. Okay, and arguing in front of kids, and I never liked that, to see parents do that. So I just want to say kudos goes out to Sheree. At the end of the day, she's number one on my list on this particular episode. From the hair, from her, talking to her kids, her opening up to her life coach, and we actually even hearing the voice of Tyrone. Well, we can't get Monk on the phone with Kenya, and he free. Hello, somebody. But that's the end of this segment of this particular review. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.